Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough I'd like you guys to meet. This is Kyle Howells. He is a wide receiver out of Susquehanna University. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Nice to meet you too.
So, feel like a lot of people really need to meet you. And it's not just because you're a local kid, local to my area. What is what I'm trying to say, but been very successful during your time at Susquehanna University and approaching the playoffs here very soon. So, Kyle, go ahead, introduce yourself, and we'll get started.
Well, hi, I'm Kyle Howells. I'm a senior receiver at Susquehanna University, and I'm originally from Amesville, Maryland.
Cool. I'm familiar with Imesville, Maryland. Most people might want to say I Jamesville. That is wrong. But hey, not everybody is. So you grew up in that area, Kyle. How long have you played football, if you don't mind sharing?
16 or 17 years, I think so.
So maybe what were you like, maybe 6, 7 years old, something like that?
I would say like 5 or 6, yeah.
Gotcha. So was it just flag football at the beginning or what?
Yeah, flag football for like 2, 3 years, and then went into pads.
Gotcha. And so again, played at Urbana High School, and just recently found out that you didn't play wide receiver there. You played some quarterback. So, talk about you there at Urbana High School. Playing for those guys. So go for it.
So I started all 4 years, freshman through senior year. It was definitely a different experience from there to here. We weren't exactly the best program, but we were building the program. So I would say tons of memories and tons of fun.
Gotcha. And I know that there is some local competition that obviously you have to run with while you're in high school. Heck, even literally up the street from me, there was a guy who played there at Tuscarora High School that got drafted, uh,
Hmm.
you know, by what is it, Minnesota and
Yeah.
Addison. I
Yep.
don't know if you had a chance to play against him or what,
We
but
did.
like there's some talent in this area. Any other memories that you want to share from your high school days?
Uh, well, playing Linganore, even though we never got the chance to beat them, that's always fun. And best memory besides that one would probably be our comeback against Glenelg. We were down 14 with like 4 minutes left, came back, forced it into overtime, and ended up winning the game. I think that was electric.
Gotcha. So, Kyle, other than football there at Urbana, do you play any other sports?
I played basketball my freshman and senior year, and mainly played senior year because COVID and I was bored. But yeah.
So, you're a part of this, I guess, a generation year or whatever you heck you want to call it, this round of players who had to really deal with COVID. And it sucked. You couldn't play in the fall, but you did play in the spring. And I do feel like it might have actually played into your recruiting, because I don't know, maybe things could have happened differently. We really don't know. What do you think? I mean, what do you think about how your recruiting went? Obviously, you were a quarterback. I mean, you're a wide receiver now. Like, how did things work for you? Just talk through that.
Well, so I was talking to a lot of coaches before COVID, and then it just got slimmer and slimmer once COVID happened. And yeah, that's basically really it for my recruiting. But Susquehanna did come and watch one of my games during my senior season during the spring. But I always think in my head, like if I was a wide receiver in high school, where would I be now? But I'm thankful for where I am now, so can't really complain too much.
Hey, it is what it is. Talk about that transition from quarterback to wide receiver. Was there someone guiding you in that process? Was that like a personal decision? Was that Susquehanna saying that's what we are recruiting you as? Like, how did that transition happen?
So. my freshman season, I went to camp, and our quarterback has every record at the school. And as well as I wanted to play, and I didn't want to sit behind him until he graduated. So I went into my coach's office after I called my mom because my mom was my biggest supporter. So she was like, just do what your heart desires. So I went to his office and I asked him, I was like, hey, coach, can I switch to receiver? Because I just want to get on the field. And he was like, yes. So I ended up working with the receivers, but I still knew some quarterback stuff. And I played a little bit of quarterback my freshman year, but it was mainly just to run the ball. Um, but then one of my coaches here now, Coach Wine, he actually gave me the opportunity to play kick returner. And the last week of our regular season, I had my first touchdown as a receiver. And then the following week, our bowl game, I had my first kick return and set the record for the longest one at the school.
Nice. So again, most people obviously know you as a kick returner, punt returner, wide receiver. That's what you've been most successful at during your time there at Susquehanna. Um, and bro, looking back at last year, a lot of people gave you a ton of accolades. You were actually named Offensive Player of the Year for your conference, which is definitely something to pat yourself on the back about. And so, obviously, wide receiver now. Do they throw in maybe perhaps some potential, maybe like screen set, double pass kind of moves? Like you guys got that in your I don't want to give any tips to your playoff teams, but is that something that you're trying to work in or what?
We definitely have them in. We definitely do. Um, just waiting on them.
Gotcha. So for people that aren't as familiar with Susquehanna, again, Division III school, in what is now called the Landmark Conference, had some realignment here recently. Putting you, I guess, you were Centennial, I suppose, and then you guys moved around somewhat. And then talk about Susquehanna. Give other people the pitch for that university. Um, uh, Obviously, maybe not everybody knows about it. So, talk about your school.
It's a pretty small school. I think it has like 2,000, between 2 and 4,000 kids. I don't really remember. It's in central Pennsylvania, and uh, I don't really know what it's around. But it's
Nothing.
class. Yeah, I mean, really, yeah.
No, hey, it is what it is. I mean, you are at a very small school, more or less in the middle of nowhere. You're not really near like any big city. You figure the the West has got Pittsburgh, the East has got Philly, and so you're stuck mad dab in the middle of nowhere. So, but hey, they were the ones that gave you the opportunity. They brought you in originally quarterback, but obviously, again, wide receiver. Talk about yourself as a wide receiver. Of course, growing up, in the Maryland area. I don't know if there was perhaps a wide receiver, but more than likely a quarterback you grew up watching. Who was the guy for you?
That I grew up watching. Honestly, I just watched the Cowboys because I'm a Cowboys fan. I know I see all that Commander stuff in the back. Um,
There's no commander stuff behind me,
oh,
but I get what you're saying.
Redskins.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're good. Um, but hey, well, Kyle, we can still be friends. It's okay. Just it's all right. And this past weekend was kind of sad. So let's at least for me. But anyways, let's talk more about you as a wide receiver. So again, you had mentioned you're used as a return specialist as well as a wide receiver. Um, uh, Talk about y'all's offense, maybe your bread and butter. What do people have to expect about Susquehanna's offense?
We're explosive. I mean, every meeting we go over our stats, and I think as an offense, we're ranked like top five in a lot of offensive statistics. I mean, I think we're averaging like 8 point something yards a play. Our time of possession went way down from last year because we held the ball a lot longer last year, but this year, man, we're just explosive in the run game, pass game. Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like to stop our offense, it's really pick your poison. It's either you load the box and let us air it out, or you just drop everybody and we're just gonna run the ball. So I don't know.
Well, they've definitely relied heavily on you in that offense. Kyle, you've racked up 14 touchdowns on the year, which is a great number. And so, what's that one route that you love running for your quarterback?
Honestly, whatever gets me open, I don't know. I mean, every receiver loves running straight down the field, but it sucks if you don't get the ball. So, I mean, I would just say whichever route gets me the ball is my favorite route.
Such a wide receiver mindset. You don't care. You don't care at all.
No.
Whatever gets you open. So no, that's okay. We'll talk some more about that. So talk about your teammates a little bit if you don't mind. Who are some other people there who have impressed you over your time there?
So over my time here, I mean, there's a lot, but I'll talk about this year. We have a freshman running back. His name is Rashawn Lamons. I mean, this kid's insane. One of the shiftiest kids I've ever played with. Physical dude. Um, he broke a record uh for a rookie, I think, and I think he's like second in the nation in all purpose. And
Nice.
our quarterback too has taken a huge step from last year to this year, throwing the ball. He's just gotten smarter with his decision making, knows when to use his legs, um, doesn't turn the ball over. Uh, and then our O line, all of them just improved every single year. And then one of my best friends here, my wide receiver partner, Chris Book there, he didn't get a lot of playing time in the previous years, but this year, I mean, he's stepped up in a huge way.
Cool. So Cal, you guys having a really good year. Currently sitting at 9-1. And the only loss you had was I think the previous champion, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You guys are heading into the playoffs very strong. What's it going to take for you guys to I don't know, man, be a force and go deep in these playoffs and hopefully hoist a trophy?
Honestly, at the end of the day, I just think it's about focusing on us. We focus on us. We perfect our craft every single day at practice. We study hard on our playbooks. It's just like attention to detail. That's what we really need to focus on. Attention to detail. We need to minimize our penalties, make everything crisp. We just need to operate with efficiency as well. So I think that would be
Got
our key to success.
Gotcha. Again, not to I guess give perhaps your opposition some inside information, but what do you feel people are? I don't know. When they look at you, they think um, maybe perhaps not the best thing. Like, what's the most that you feel is slept on about you? Is it your speed, your physicality? What is that one aspect about your game that you I don't know, take the most pride in?
Take the most pride in. Um, I would just say I think every team just thinks I'm all speed and that I can't really run routes. But I would say my route running slept on. You don't just get open with speed. That's just not it. And then I would just say, obviously, I also take pride in my hands. I mean, you can't drop the football. That's another thing.
Well, and when you have an offense that let's just face it, man, like they are really relying on you often, not just on offense, but also on special teams, dude. You are the return specialist there for that program. Um, Give me maybe perhaps an example of like maybe your best return, whether it be from this year or from previous seasons. Talk about the best return that you've had for that program.
I can tell you best game. Uh, we played F&M my sophomore year, and I took two kick returns back. That was probably my best game. And then
Awesome.
yeah, it was scary because we were up 32-7 at half, and we only won 39-32, which was really scary. But
So special teams really won that, is what you're trying to say. You said that was your sophomore season?
yeah, that was my sophomore season. That was definitely my best game returning wise. But my favorite one is my freshman year in our bowl game when I set the record for the longest one. That was probably my favorite one.
Awesome. And what about you as a receiver? I know had a lot of touchdowns this year. And then again going back to last year, I mean, all conference guy, offensive player of the league. What's been maybe your best moment as a receiver?
Uh, Beating Cortland last year, um, that was awesome. That was awesome because I don't think anybody gave us a shot to win that game. And when you do the unexpected, I think it's the best feeling.
So, and again, I just kind of want to reiterate to some people, um, Cortland won it all last season, and Cortland had a lot of great talent. And last year, you got one over on them, and there's a lot of great talent coming out of there. And this year, dude, you came this close. It was such a shootout against them. It was like I think like a one score game.
It's two, we lost
Um,
by two.
so yeah, I mean, God, man, like it one way or the other, maybe perhaps you guys could have been champions last year. That's an amazing thought. And we are now going into the playoffs. You're supposed to be facing Hobart here very soon. Um, what about what? How is some of this attention for you and your school? How are you taking it right now?
Um, I was just not getting the highs too high and not letting the lows get too low. Just staying right in the middle because
I
we've been
mean,
in this position.
you seem even keel. I mean, you seem ready to go.
Yeah.
We are talking around the time of Thanksgiving break. And so there you're obviously sticking around. You got to be prepared for this game coming here very soon for this weekend. Some good stuff, man. Good stuff happening there at Susquehanna. I do want to meet this guy a bit off the field, if you don't mind. I am kind of curious to know this kid who went to school more or less down the street from me. Tell me a little bit about you, whether it be your hobbies, your interests, you got any special talents or fun facts. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Um, well, fun fact, I'm adopted from birth.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Um, some of my hobbies, I lift with my trainer out of Gaithersburg. Um, I like hanging out with my friends, whether it's teammates or friends at home. And I like golfing. And then and then what did I say my last one is? Playing college football on my PS5.
There
That's
you
fun.
go.
Yeah.
Um, there is a golf course fairly near where you live in Imesville. I don't know if you frequently go there. And I know that there's a Top Golf somewheres near us too. So I don't know which one you go to, but there's obviously plenty of places around here for you to go to. So um, you had mentioned that you're adopted, so and I'm sure that defines you a lot as a person. Anything that you want to add onto that at all, or no?
Um, I just my favorite thing is just when you walk like when I walk up to my parents after the game and just like look around like not at them. People just like, wait, that's those are his parents. Like you wouldn't expect it. I just think it's the best feeling. Just I don't know, making them proud is the best feeling.
Well, hey, it's fine. You're saying obviously love hanging out with your friends, your family. Um, in our area, what's your go-to hangout place, man? Is it like the golf course or is it somewhere else?
Well, in high school, it used to be the 24/7 McDonald's or Royal Farms in Urbana, but now it's just a friend's house.
Gotcha. And when you're maybe hanging out with friends, you're watching TV or movies or whatever. What is that for you, man? You have like a favorite TV show or movie you'd like to share?
Uh, I was a big Criminal Minds guy, big Criminal Minds guy. And then CSI, I like CSI. I just like those shows. Like I like mystery shows and like shows where the main character like outsmarts everybody, like Prison Break or Dexter. I'm watching right now. That's a good show.
All right. Kyle, I'm kind of curious. What has been your major there at Susquehanna?
Advertising and PR with the same.
Gotcha. So, hypothetically, what do you see yourself doing after football?
Uh, I don't really know. But I would like to sell medical devices, like transplants. And then I have an uncle who's kind of like in ties with that. So yeah, that's kind of.
Interesting. Um, and give you a couple other fun questions before we wrap things up. I mean, these are just some fun things for us to talk through. So, bucket list vacation spot. Where would you love a chance to go one day?
Uh, ooh, that's a really good, like Turks and Caicos maybe. I don't know, because I've been to the Bahamas and Aruba, and those were great spots.
Nice. So certainly going back is just fine. So not any problem there. Is there perhaps a celebrity you'd love an opportunity to meet, whether it be an actor, a musician, or an athlete? Who would that be for you?
Ooh, that's a really hard question. There's so many. Um,
Who would be that one person if they walk through the door would kind of wow you so much that you'd love an opportunity, like you'd be the first one to shake their hand, say hi or something, or maybe be scared to death to talk to.
uh, I'm gonna go with a comedian. I'm gonna go with just like Kevin Hart. I think
Kevin
he'd be
Hart.
like,
Hey, I think he'd be fun to hang out with there for
yeah.
sure. Favorite Kevin Hart movie?
Probably the ride-alongs with Ice Cube.
Cool. Kyle, it's been fun getting to know you as a person as well as an athlete there. Of course, doing great things there for Susquehanna. And looking forward to you guys making a splash in the playoffs here very soon. So, again, want to wish you the best. As we wrap things up, talk to these scouts out there. Tell them what kind of player they'd be getting if they took a chance on you. End with your final thoughts. Go for it.
Somebody who leaves it all on the field and who's very locked in. Um, I would define myself as a player, just a playmaker. Every time I touch the ball, I want to score. Whether that's a screen, a go ball. Um, I'm a hard worker, and I think I would say my teammates love to be around me. Um, I love my guys, and I'm very coachable.
Cool. So teammates love to be around this guy. He seems fairly even keeled. He's a Cowboys fan, but I guess that's the only bad thing about him. But hey, Kyle, I want to wish you all the best moving
Thank
forward.
you.
Again, teams would be getting a wide receiver with some good speed that could be utilized on special teams and, you know, still crafty route runner. People are sleeping on that route running ability. So We'll see what happens, this weekend and beyond. Again, want to wish you the best. You
Thank
take
you.
care, okay?
You too.
Again, Kyle Howes, wide receiver, Susquehanna University. Check him out.